Three, two, one. Welcome, everybody, to the One More Thing Tech Podcast. I'm your host, Quasey.
I'm Adam.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know I say it every week, but we have another amazing episode planned for you today. Adam is coming to you live from Illinois, and me, for the first, I don't know if it's live. Let me stop lying for a second because it is Wednesday and they're going to see this on Friday. But I'm coming to you live from Sacramento, California. You might be like, Quasey, why are you in Sacramento, California? And to that I'd say, I don't know. I've never been the biggest fan of the West Coast, so I don't know how I ended up out here. But I will say I've been enjoying the weather aside from, when the sun goes down and it drops 20 degrees. Did you know that, Adam? It drops 20 degrees when the sun goes down?
Yeah, well, I've been in California too, and that's the one thing about California I love is the weather. I saw one mosquito that I killed, and they don't have any more mosquitoes now, but it was wonderful weather.
Speaking
the
of
people
mosquitoes,
suck.
I have the most mosquito bites I've had since I
Really?
was living in a tropical island in the Pacific.
Okay.
I'm getting eaten up alive. And then just really quickly off topic, the only reason I actually was kind of excited to come out here was because everybody knows this. I'm a huge McDonald's fan, right?
Yes.
And the big thing out here is In-N-Out. And I was like, I'm going to come out here, I'm going to give me some In-N-Out, and I'm going to love it, right? I can't wait to try the burger, this double and stuff, right? Here's the thing, Adam. I think In-N-Out might be the most overhyped fast food place I've ever eaten at.
I agree. It's not bad. It's just
No, it's
not
bad.
the best. Oh, it's
No,
bad.
it's bad. Yeah, let me tell you what happened.
I've had some worse burgers than that.
It's not about the burgers. The burger, solid 5 out of 10. It's mid, right? It's not horrible, but it's not great. Yeah,
I give it higher than a 5.
I think you have to adjust for my ratings, though, because you know how hard it is for anything to get a 10.
I know.
But
It's not F1.
Here's what happened, though. It's not even the burger. It's not even the milkshake that I had. The milkshake was a solid 8. That was a great milkshake. Aside from the fact that I was drinking the milkshake and the cup was cold. Like, the milkshake was coming from the straw and entering my mouth kind of warm. I didn't like that at all. It was unsettling. The milkshake would have got higher if it came out cold. But here's the thing. Those fries, Adam, might be the worst fries I've ever purchased in my entire life.
I have to agree. They are very
Genuinely
underwhelming
garbage.
at best. Yeah.
Genuinely garbage.
I will say, for going through the actual drive-through experience and getting it, was it pretty fast?
We did not go through the drive-through. We went
inside.
Yeah, I have a bunch
See, I
of
didn't
photos.
do that. So you think when you're going through the drive-through, there's like 82 cars in line, and you're going to be there for like 2 hours and a half?
Oh yeah, no, that's exactly why we went inside, because
but it's not
it
like
looked
that.
like a lot.
Don't let them, like, for a second think that at all. You might be 15 minutes or 20 at most. But, like, we went through that line faster than, like, voting for the president. It was so fast. It was, I
know what the
thought it
crazy thing
was
was?
pretty good.
It was like a line of 42 cars, and it was midnight.
But yeah, that's a standard day in and out.
You'll never see that at McDonald's.
It depends where you
Midnight's
go.
actually the best time to go.
There's certain times in where I live where there's way too many cars going there that you're like,
They must have a crazy deal going on.
no, it's just we have nice restaurants, but as far as fast food, we have very little now. We have like 3
Right.
that are fast, so people choose that over the other ones because they like McDonald's or various other reasons. Could be a deal, could be whatever, right? There's always deals in their apps, so you know.
I'm not gonna lie to you, the deals in the McDonald's app might be the best deals on any fast food app.
Burger King destroys them in deals, hands
So
down.
that's simply just not true.
So tell me why I can get a double Whopper with a drink. Sorry, no drink with fries for like $6.
Okay, but did you just hear yourself? You're eating a Whopper.
destroys anything from McDonald's in the burger sector.
Wow. Okay.
Like, see this much right here? I go off the screen how much more it's
Not
better.
gonna agree. We're just not gonna
Flame
agree here.
broiled, Quasey.
We're just not
Flame
gonna agree
broiled,
here.
made with fire, not like some heated metal, that they do.
Okay.
Flame broiled. Now, if you took the McDonald's patty, right, and maybe went through a flame broil process, it might be a lot better. But I can tell you
the
when
Burger King patty is wider though.
The what?
The Burger King patty, I think it's wider.
That's part of the reason why it's also better. You get more of it for cheap. Plus the Hershey pie. If you never had the Hershey pie from Burger King, oh my gosh.
Okay.
Make your trip there just for that. It's unnaturally good for you. Not for you. Tastes delicious. Not good for you at all. So.
You guys heard it here first.
Yeah.
Speaking of hearing it here first, did you know, Adam, that Meta could possibly be releasing a smartwatch? Good lord,
Yes.
I should have just read the article. I don't know why I sit here and blanked out for a second. A smartwatch with a camera at his September event.
For its AI stuff, if you can believe it. I'm excited to see this. It's not because I want to see the Apple Watch fail or others in the market. I just want to see more competition so it broadens the horizons of what developers and what hardware manufacturers will do for watches in the smartwatch realm. I don't know what the price is going to be. I guess we don't have that quite yet. My guess is $300. It's just my absolute guess with it. What are your thoughts on just the idea of this from Meta, besides selling information?
So the thing is, obviously, it's a watch, right? And the watch market might be my favorite, least favorite thing to watch, right? Because
before
the watches will be really cool, and then somebody's just going to copy one thing off another. But this is a really cool idea to me. This is, like, I can see the functionality in having a camera. I think it's very James Bond-like. And, when I wear a watch, when I wear a suit, that's the feeling I'm looking to have. I want to feel like James Bond, if you know what I mean. Like, I want to have my gadgets and my gizmos be super helpful, right? So,
like Dick Tracy. That's an old reference, but people
Dick
understand
Tracy.
that.
Is that the first James Bond?
No, it's one of the very first television characters to have a smartwatch. Like, he would talk into it and all this other stuff, and that was the first, this is like in the 50s or even earlier than that. But that was the very first movie icon to actually have like a smart watch device. And not that I really even watched it, I've heard about this from many different people. So, just wanted to see if that's someone that people even know at all. If you do, put in the comments.
Okay, and then the article also says that Apple may or may not be adding a camera to their watch.
Do you want that though? Like, is that something? I was thinking about that a little bit.
It kind of depends. Like, I could, it'd definitely be a reason for me to upgrade from my current Apple Watch, because that's like a feature that, like, I'll notice. You know what I mean? Like, that's something noticeable that I won't have. The question is, how big is the camera going to be, and how is it going to fit into the general makeup of, like, the watch? You know what I mean? Like, how is it going to? Oh my goodness, what am I trying to say? How is it going to look on the watch, and where they're going to put it? I think it's all a design thing.
I think it would be a phenomenal idea if they introduce a under-screen camera.
See, I was thinking that too.
That would be the best way to do it. Like, don't put in the bezel. Don't make that a thing, because it's already going to be too large to do that. They did that, which they're going to do in phones before you know it. They're already doing it now with certain manufacturers. But seeing that would be great, because that's something that, even for a FaceTime call or for something quick, I know this seems unnatural, but you could ideally just turn your watch, if I can show you this, like that to do a call. But it would be kind of weird still. It'd be weird. I know.
It's working, but it's a little bit odd.
Well, like, if you're on a run, for instance, or not with your phone, which is not happening a lot for certain people, that's a way that you could still do those calls or quick little things that you need to do for certain things, I guess.
Right.
I don't know. It's a nice concept. I think it's going to be more used for AI stuff, which I don't really know what that means quite yet. But if Apple was talking about this in 2019 with their patent and they haven't done it yet, is that going to happen for a little while? We don't know yet. We'll see. Is it something that I want to see in a watch? Not necessarily, but it'd be cool if it was there. There was talk back then of having a smart band that had that in their band, which is also a weird concept too. But, just ideas floating around. But overall, if you had the option to choose what you see here or a Apple Watch, base Apple Watch, which one would you get?
Definitely the new watch with the Meta Watch with the camera. I feel like the Meta Watch with the camera would be better than a base Apple Watch without a camera. And it's just because
Wow.
there's like my watch. It's just a watch. It can only do so much.
Go out of the ecosystem to just get the camera.
I've been thinking more and more about my ecosystem recently, and it's like, do I really want to be trapped?
Trapped is a bad word.
I mean, like,
trapped.
It was happily. How do I put it? I was like happily in this thing, and then I realized I kind of want to have a second phone. Sorry, I kind of want to have a second phone and just be able to lollygag with it.
Okay, I mean, not as a primary device, but just to mess with. I can see that.
But like,
so
I don't
in
want
that
to
case,
integrate with the rest of my devices. Is the thing. Like my entire thing is like now moving towards being more seamless with everything. Speaking of seamless, that's why I can't get with Apple Music. I know this Apple Music's not on the thing today, and I don't want to divulge too much, but
So if they add the feature that you really want, where it transfers from device to device, you would 100% get away from Spotify.
100%.
So you would remove. So like Discovery on Spotify is supposedly better, and that's the thing that's what, and I've used that part of it, and it's pretty good. I don't think Apple's is like treacherous to the point where it's not worth it. I don't think that at all. I mean, when you have more music, you have higher quality.
But you don't have an AI DJ though.
Yet.
Hold on. Wait, my volume's.
It's gonna play some country.
I'm gonna get it going with some music that's all you. J. Cole up first.
I love my.
It's not country. It's a nice feature.
I don't listen to country music that often.
So I still like Apple Music, but I'm not saying Spotify's trash. I mean, for me, it's the quality that I want more right now. That's just me.
I've got to say, the other day, I had listened to the AI DJ for so long, and he was like, let's try something new. Okay. And then he played the worst song I've ever heard in my entire life. So, it's ups and downs. Like, it was so bad.
And I want you to share your screen for this, Quasey. There is some breaking news that as of this week we got to take a little shift away from smartwatches. Talk about this. There's a certain person on, we're going to call it Twitter, as we discussed last episode, that has spotted in the wild the iPhone 17 Pro development kit, where we see a real-life test of the iPhone. And where I first saw this, I'm like, it's probably fake. It's probably some guy just trying to get some, views and whatnot. But looking into the story more, one thing that I found very interesting is that Mark Gurman shared it. So ignore who posted it. This person's probably into a realm we don't really want to get into. But beyond all that, this person does seem cool for this part at least. So there's a bodyguard trying to block this from being taken, but was not successful. And zoom in a little bit more. It looks like we have a 17 Pro and Pro Max here, and the Pro Max is the black one. Just so you guys know,
really
I guess.
If these are like just 16.
They're just definitely not though. You have different sensors on it. You can see in the far right and right above the actual camera on the top one. So, in any case, this is a little different than we first seen, and we can't tell the bump depth in this as much. But when Mark Gurman shared it, and so did various other platforms, I mean, 95 Mac Rumors, and various other places. I'm very believable now this is actually a thing. So one thing to know, if you do not know this, Apple has a very secret way of doing live outdoor testing. So this is something that happens all the time. And I'm sure from time to time people see it, but they don't really know that it's the next iPhone because, as you know, it's not a very big difference from iPhone to iPhone typically, right? So when they do this, people just don't even realize it's happening. But this thing happens consistently, and the way this is done, I think, was still concealed a little bit. I'm not going to be too obvious about it, but I'm not sure this is an Apple employee or it could be a YouTuber or someone in the social sector that
I
just.
wish they let me test it. I'd get great reviews if they let me
Same
test
here.
it.
Same here. But I'm sure Marquez, iJustine, those people probably get things early so they can try it out. Quasi, that's very loud.
Sorry, yeah, no, I just started throwing things. Let me go ahead, Adam.
It's
I
okay.
didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine. But just we want to show you guys here. This is probably a very good idea what's going to be in September. When we see that, we are very close, Quasi, to September. By the way, for that event. And that's going to be, we're going to have a great thing that we have planned for that I'll talk to you about afterwards, Quasi, for sure, just to catch up with that. Anyway, though, I just want to share that really with you guys, where we see a real example of this in the wild, so that gives you an idea what it's going to be, and we'll see how it goes from there, if this is accurate or not, and we'll follow back up with this. Sorry, kind of throw us off topic a little bit with that. But
no, it's okay. We were talking about watches, though. And while we were talking about watches, last week, I think the Nothing CMF watch came out. And, it makes me wonder why I would ever pay more than $99 for a watch. You know what I mean?
But you have already. Okay. Apple Watch.
But I didn't pay for that. My parents did. But the new metal, it's a nice looking watch, right? And it has a larger display than previous, and it has the heart rate sensor. I think the main thing is it includes ChatGPT, right, on a watch. So I don't even think my Apple Watch. Okay, maybe your Apple Watch. Does Apple Watch have Apple Intelligence? Googling it, just ignore me. So the Apple Watch doesn't have Apple Intelligence directly built into WatchOS.
Interesting.
But if you have an iPhone,
you
running
can just
iOS
get
18 or later,
ChatGPT app for your watch, right?
Is there an app for your watch?
I'm almost positive.
I
could be vastly wrong, though.
Because usually what happens is, when you have the app on your phone, it'll automatically go to your watch.
If you turn that on, I have that turned off.
Well, I think I have it turned on. It's just did you know that ChatGPT is the #1 ranked thing in productivity?
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with that. That's just me.
Okay, so it's only got an iPhone and an iPad app.
Oh, so I'm just wrong completely. Well, okay. So here we are with the Nothing watch. The price point's pretty compelling. I'll give them that. $100 for, Apple charges more than that for certain bands.
Literally.
Which is insane. But here's the thing, though. You're talking about the Nothing company, which, their CEO kind of does some things that just back talks certain competition. I'm not a big fan of that. How Samsung says, "Oh, we don't have liquid glass, we have normal OS." They just I hate when marketing companies do an ad that just directly just bashes competition. It's not a good way to look. Just talk about your product. Let the customer choose what they want. And I don't like how they do things like this. So the CEO from Nothing has been known to do it in the past with Apple and other brands. And Samsung's a huge example of this when they bash Apple for certain things. They do this. Then they put a notch in their phones and they completely copy the Apple Watch Ultra and everything else. So it's just interesting how that all works out.
Put a notch in their phone?
Oh, yeah. They did that a year or two after Apple did.
I don't think it was a notch. No,
oh, yeah.
They were flaming the notch. You can't You can't say
They
what
were-
you said about the notch.
Remember
and
the
make
guy
yourself
that
a
the
notch.
haircut he
Yeah,
had?
that's exactly what I'm
The
talking
notch?
about.
Oh my
Horrible.
gosh! See, what I'm saying that's too much. Just show your product and stop bashing competition. Because
I'm saying at that point it was like, because you're bashing them instead of showing me your product. Now I like want the other person's product even more, because at least I know they have
Yeah.
a good enough product for you to want to start bashing them. You know what I mean?
Now Apple used to do that too, with Mac on a PC, but it wasn't really bashing.
Yeah, no, that was funny.
It was
They used
just,
to have,
it kind of was, but not really. I don't know. It's a gray area, I would say, but they weren't like saying, "Oh, you have the Samsung Galaxy Ghost in the pour table in a restaurant." Like that's a bad example. You know what I'm saying? They're not going that hardcore with an ad. You know,
go sit at
there's
the court
there's a
table.
comedian that said like, "Oh, the reason why you don't have an iPhone is because you can't afford it." And I'm like, bro, that's kind of getting a little spicy there, but.
Yeah, no.
It's the guy who was in Deadpool, the guy with the blonde hair. I can't remember his name. He's got a name for sure. But in any case,
Wait, who
I don't
was
agree
in
with that, by
Deadpool?
the way. But yes, the nothing smartwatch. No, Quasi. This is a little bit off topic, but it's in the same topic, I guess. Did you hear the brand Pebble?
Pebble. Give me half a second. Pebble Watch.
Yes,
It was a discontinued. This is all off
virtually
top of
the
head,
very
by
first
way.
smartwatch, to my understanding. I think it really was. In 2012, it was Kickstarter. So here's the thing about Pebble, just so you know, they're also coming back as a brand. So they were bought out by somebody else,
I think
and now they're
by
coming
Fitbit.
back. Huh?
Fitbit bought them out.
Yeah.
Like the
Now-
little bands that you put around your arm and you run.
The
this
story
stuff.
behind Pebble, just to go a little bit off topic, was they took a calculator essentially, and they took that like OS and that style of text and stuff and made it a watch. It was a weird concept, but it kind of blew up. So like I had Pebble and my friend did that. We both got it at the same time, and like for a smart watch that could do certain things, it was phenomenal. Like I gave notifications. The battery lasted like a week and a half. It was because it didn't use like the screens we have now, right?
Right.
But it was really cool concept and how they would let you basically do dev stuff as a consumer. So they had games and stuff on their course that didn't have to cost anything. Like there was no app store per se with it. They came out with something later on with that, but how you could basically make your own apps with their interface, that was kind of a really neat concept and just things like that. So the idea was really cool, and now Pebble is no longer, from my understanding, owned by Fitbit. They now they're on their own brand again. Oh, and I think by the original CEO as well. So I think they're going to come back with their own watches again, and they have the Core 2 Duo and Core Time 2, and it's $150 for the Duo 2, and Time 2 is $225. It's a little more expensive for sure. And I'm not saying this is even close to an Apple Watch in comparison, but I want to bring that up as well because it does give you like touch screen, heart rate monitor, and so on and so on, biometrics and all that stuff. So something to also just bring up that came back, and I know some people that had that in the past that liked it are going to be happy to see that because it was iconic. I think the first smartwatch that came out, to be honest. And now it's coming back at those who want to just mess with it and just get back into that realm. So, a little bit off topic, but not really. So, of all three of these watches, Quasi, which one are you down for the most?
It's gonna be a little bit. I don't know if it's controversial, but I think the Nothing Watch might be what I'm leaning towards because you know how much ChatGPT is integrated to my daily life now.
I know you're really big on ChatGPT.
Well, the way you said that, my teachers are gonna think I'm like cheating on
No,
every
no, no,
assignment or something.
I'm not
which
saying
I
that.
am, but you know.
I'm not saying that. I'm more saying that for me, and I just had a discussion yesterday about this. I am not opposed to ChatGPT. It's a great AI model, LLM, and everything. For me, it comes down to cost. Their costs are just a bit higher than I'm willing to pay for what they offer. What they do is great, and they're probably the best out there overall as an AI chatbot and what they do. I'm a huge fan of Grok. I know there's people that don't like Grok because it's Elon Musk thing. I know people don't like it because the way that it does certain things, the way it's quirky. But like I was just explaining how for me Grok just does things that I like how it remembers things and brings it into a conversation. It's more like a discussion with a person than it's just an AI, right? Like as I said before, I was Stardew Valley tips and tricks, and I can remember that I had these crops in spring and how I can utilize that in fall and what I can use for that money and so on and so on. It's personable, and I like that about it.
Yeah,
And also, it's
definitely.
great at coding and a bunch of other stuff. And am I saying it's the best? It's probably not the best out there, but I like it for what it does. Especially, you can talk to it. You can talk to Grok and have a discussion with it, and that's kind of cool too. Like that. I'm not sure if that's offered with ChatGPT yet. Correct? I don't think it is. Yeah,
But I
I
know
think they're
it,
coming
it
out with
has
it.
memory. I know it retains memory.
But like, how far back? I wonder. Like, it brought things up that I first talked about. Like, I mentioned that this podcast in it, and it's brought that up again. So if I say like, "Hey, um, what is this idea good for my podcast?" and then it will reference our podcast name in that response, and look back at what we have actually posted for episodes, and actually reference those two, saying, "Well, you talked about this in this episode. How about we branch off for this in this new one as an example?" And that's just how it does that. It's just I like it. I know I'm going on a rant about this, not a
No,
rant.
you're completely fine.
But in any case, I just, for me, I would say those that are questioning about Grok, just try it for a month and see what you think about it. That's what I would advise. They're not sponsoring this episode, nothing like that. I truly like it myself. And I encourage you to just try it once and see what you think about it. That's all.
Okay.
Okay,
Let's-
next one I wanted you to bring up, Quasey's. I think you're going to, it's a short discussion, but I'm excited about this. And I have not yet watched it, Quasey, either.
Adam, I'm not gonna show up next week if you don't watch this.
Well, here's the
Like,
problem. The problem is I can't watch it because it's
Why?
not in theaters anymore.
What?
Yeah, it's not.
F1.
I see that. It probably is, actually.
Dude, it's like in every theater. Then again, this
gosh,
is
is
in
it really?
California. This is definitely California, so it could be not in theaters in Illinois. But when I get back and I search and it's in theaters, Adam, if you don't watch it by next Monday, I don't know if you're gonna have
So,
a co-host.
Fantastic Four,
I've
Smurfs,
seen that.
and
It was pretty
Jurassic
good.
World, Despicable Me 4. It's not, Quasey. I was correct. Thank you. I was correct. I was guessing so hard on that. Well, there's more movies coming out, right? That are out right now.
Yeah, like
So, like,
Fantastic Four.
Here's the thing, and this is why I want to also bring this up. But go ahead, Quasey. I wanted you to make the announcement
Oh,
of this
okay.
next topic.
So
you go,
it
this movie.
appears that F1 was it passed 500 million at the box
Yes.
office. That's a lot of money, ladies and gentlemen. I've never even seen $500 million.
I haven't seen $1 million, Quasey. So
Exactly.
500 more or
I
400
can barely
more.
count to 100.
Man.
So like, you know what I mean?
There is going to be a day where we see this much more with the podcast, hopefully, Quasey, and I'm so excited.
If
for
I'm
that.
seeing 500 million, let me
I'm
stop.
telling you, it's possible. Okay,
I don't know. My ego might inflate to a point where like, you know, these people won't even want to hear me anymore. You know.
Oh, we can always add those parts out, right?
I don't know. I think it might be the entire episode. Like
the entire episode.
Just always I'm talking about myself.
I'm excited for this announcement myself because this gives motivation to Apple to do more content like this. As I said before, when they first came out with TV shows and Apple TV Plus, they were good, but not like to this realm of like if there was a movie made from Apple, it was going to get $500 million in box office. It wasn't a thing. The box office never even reached probably $100 million because it wasn't that good to start with. And as they got more producers and writers and better, equipment for making the movies themselves, it blew up. Like they are making incredible things now that I am excited to watch all the time. And they're doing it in a way that makes sense. It's like this. It's a movie that's not just going to be on Apple TV Plus like Netflix does, right? It's a movie that's in theaters. It's going to be on demand on Apple TV Plus. Plus, you're going to be able to buy it in like stores, disc copies as well. And that's something that I'm excited to see as well because they don't just want to capture that market of their streaming rights because they want you to see it in different stages, and I like that. Also, I just had to imagine they're going to just pump out some more incredible movies. And I'm excited for that. It was a big risk. And at first, they were losing money like crazy on production for all their stuff. And now they are surpassing their budgets. So, in great ways. So, I'm excited to see this. And I hope they make great content because I never thought Apple would do something like this, right?
Me neither. When I saw the ad, I was like, that's crazy.
I just F1 in general, making movies and shows. I didn't think they were going to do it, and when they did, I'm just happy because now it's not just like normal Hollywood, right? Keep in mind, this isn't like a studio's backing them; they're doing this with their own everything. Now distribution's different, right? They're using that I think of Warner Bros. I think for that, but in general, like it's all their own creation, own editors and everything, and I like that. It's just competition. And it's nice. So, just want to know from people if this movie, if you liked it, did you watch it? Are you excited to see that it did so well in the box office? What I want to bring up the most is, for those who want to stream it, it's supposed to, unfortunately, come out in October. I wish it would come out sooner than that because, I mean, it's had its theatrical release run. Now it's time for digital. I mean, things now come out sooner than you ever did. So I don't know why they're pushing this back so long for digital release. But in any case, I'm excited to see this come out. Because they're doing IMAX stuff too. That's why. That's why it's coming out in October. Because they're doing an IMAX release in August. That's exactly why. Now I know why they're doing it now. Ooh, IMAX would be phenomenal. Would you say, Gracie? IMAX?
IMAX. You know, I haven't had actually, that's not true. We have a big old iMac, but I think it's like a 2009. I completely off topic with the iMacs, but you know, I personally love the redesign that they did a couple years ago, where it was all colorful and the screen was really flat and everything. You know, I was just a big fan of the iMac redesign. So, and you know, you can put. I think
you got the term incorrect. IMAX, as in like the. While going to a movie, IMAX.
Oh, IMAX. Like IMAX.
Yes.
Like
it's so close
to
the Apple
thing.
Yes.
Oh, everybody.
The 4:3 aspect ratio
I have
IMAX.
No clue what I'm talking about.
No, you do.
That
just
is
the
embarrassing.
Wrong thing.
That is.
It's okay.
That is embarrassing. You know, I should use context clues. I don't know. I didn't use context clues.
It's not as bad as the attempt at yesterday's recording, right?
No, it was, guys.
That was bad. Not your fault, even. You tried your hardest. Do you want to give them that story, Quasey, just so they have some context? Because I think it's funny.
I just, you know, we were at a hotel up until yesterday because it's a long story with the painter. I might get into it some other time. But, we were in a hotel because the place was getting painted and it was taking forever. And so I'm like, I need to record this podcast. You know, we skipped Monday. I can't skip Tuesday, right? We have to record it on Tuesday. I get up crack of dawn. Not even. It's before crack of dawn because the sun isn't out yet, right?
Before farmers wake up.
Literally. And you know, I'm out there. I mosey on down to the lobby, right? And then the guy, I don't know what they're called, the people who do the desk, the concierge, was sitting there and he was like, "Sorry, sir, you can't be hanging out in the lobby right now. It's closed." And, you know, it just doesn't make sense to me. Why have a lobby area that
you
closes?
Can't use it?
You know what I mean?
It's like he explained
to me that it's because, you know, they want the place to be clean for breakfast and all that. And it's like, that makes a little bit of sense, but
it's not breakfast time yet.
Yeah, breakfast was in 2 hours from like when I was getting there. But here's the thing:
He just didn't want you to be there.
I wasn't
That's all.
going to make a mess or anything, right? It's
You
not
weren't
like
eating a bag of chips.
yeah, like I had a computer in hand. You know what I mean? Like, I guess I could have pulled a bag of chips out of my backpack.
I guess that's true.
Here, but it's not like I was going to do that. Anyhow, I did not end up recording yesterday because and I tried to go to the fitness center. That it wasn't gonna work out in the fitness center. Looked for a pool area. The hotel right next to us had a pool, but we didn't, so that didn't work out. Then I went outside. And you know what's even crazier about this place? Once you step outside of the hotel, if you don't bring your key with you, the sliding doors that open and close to let you in, they just stop working until 6 a.m. So if I didn't have my key, I would have been screwed.
It just seems like they're going out of their way to not let you do things.
It kind of seems like that, yeah.
That may, yeah, and yeah. So anyway,
right,
I think Quasi tried his hardest to do recording, but it just didn't work out. But today's a new day. That's okay. Today's a new day.
It is in fact a new day.
Okay, next one. I'm excited for this one, Quasi. Are you?
What is the next one?
iPhone.
Hold on. Let me just put it out there. I know what the next one is, but that was like a rhetorical question so that the audience would know that we're switching topics and know what the next topic is.
Let's go ahead and talk about the iPhone 17 Pro. First off, Are you going to be upgrading?
Nope.
You're not upgrading. Even if they do something really crazy and something like, I gotta have this.
This phone is under contract. My other phone wasn't under contract, so I could upgrade that one, whatever.
Okay.
But here's the thing, Adam. My dad's gonna pay it off tomorrow, so it won't be under contract.
So
now, Adam, you might ask, why is your dad paying it off tomorrow?
Do not have that.
I couldn't tell you.
Well, he doesn't want to pay per month for it. That's all.
This dude was telling me yesterday, I have to go pay off all those phones immediately. I was like, Dad, what gifts? And he was like, the church is taking over the phone bill, and I don't want them to have to pay for it. And it's like,
that's nice of him.
It was too nice of him.
That's nice of him.
He
that's cool.
could put that money towards a new vehicle for me. Wait, Adam, I need the audience to vote. I have 4 days left to put Apple Care Plus on this phone. Now, based on past events, Apple Care Plus should already be on my phone. I'm not here lacking.
Yeah.
But I haven't dropped my phone more than 3 times yet. So really.
You dropped it twice now?
Dropped it 3 times.
With a case on or without a case?
With the case on. Dude, I don't hold my phone without the case. I'm terrified.
There's a certain person, and you'll know who I'm talking about, that sits next to me to my left, that has recently decided to remove his case from his phone as his everyday carry. And this person has a dog, okay, and is not the most careful with their devices. I mean, his iPad Mini took a tumble. It's a fact.
My iPad took a tumble.
Well, his off a golf cart took a tumble and hopped more than the Easter bunny on Easter. It was so bad. So that past experience would scare the death out of me to not have a case on it.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, the only
fair.
time my phone is without a case is when I first get it, and that is for 14. I don't let an Apple employee or anybody touch my phone before I put on a screen protector. Which now, by the way, Quasi, we talked about this, is Magic John.
Yes.
I want to give them a shout out. They're not a sponsor yet. I'm working on that, Quasi, by the way. But I am just putting that on my phone was phenomenal. It has been such a great thing ever since.
I was trying to tell you.
Oh man, and it was such a good price too. So I mean, the dude's taking a battle axe to it and doesn't destroy it. That is just a great example. I hate ads, but I watch his when I see them, and they're just awesome. Oh my
Here's the
gosh,
thing.
I have some ideas with this
Any
for,
other
for,
ad
for
on
some
TikTok,
sponsorships.
I'll swipe by in half a millisecond. But every time I see one of the two Magic John guys, or even the lady, I don't know what it is. I'm just mesmerized.
They
have
are
to sit
so
there and
good
watch
at
it.
it. They could be like
Their
they could work
marketing
for
team needs a
Apple
raise.
and make their marketing better, which is hard to believe that that's possible. But they are really good at marketing. I'm very impressed with that, and they're not that expensive. So Magic John, if you're watching this, we want you guys to be a lifetime partner because
Whoa.
we love your products. Love
Just
them.
lifetime?
I don't know how you go more than that at all,
I
but
don't know.
isn't lifetime pretty much all of it?
No.
Okay.
Like,
I guess
I'm gonna
it's
die
not when
one
it comes
day.
to like
I
prison
need a posthumous
sentences, right?
deal. Yeah.
Prison sentences could be like
Life
triple
is like
lifetime.
50 years.
I don't know how that works, but in any case,
Yeah.
big shout out to Magic John. They're not a sponsor, but I love their products and I encourage you to check them out. Beyond all that, the iPhone 17 Pro Max, it's going to be a redesign for sure this year. Can you go to that article and kind of show them what the mock-up is really quick?
So
This is planned at the final design, but it's really close to it.
Give me half a second.
I'm excited.
I just had a crazy hiccup. I thought I was going to die right there.
That's usually how they work, right?
No, usually my hiccups are not that bad. Like, I genuinely
Mine
thought I was
are.
going to make
I
half a second.
hate
there.
hiccups. Okay, just zoom in on just the image, and we'll go through the action what it's going to have. Okay, this is the mock-up of the 17 Pro and Pro Max. Obviously, this is probably just the Pro. What are your first impressions of that design?
You know, it's the split design where it has like glass for the wireless charging and then the rest of the body is aluminum, which honestly not horrible. It looks
like it.
kind of funky, but like in a good way.
I really like the way that this is. If this is the final design, camera bump is now way bigger, which is interesting.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure why the LiDAR sensor and the flash have to
Be moved.
like go to a different country. Basically,
Yeah.
that's how far away from everything. When they could clearly put that like right above the singular camera that's just by itself almost.
Kind of like exactly how it is right now.
Yeah. So
But
I'm not
I
opposed to
guess
this
they want to
completely.
take advantage of the space.
Yeah, and it's not the worst design. I like it. That color needs to go away, but other than that, it's pretty good.
Definitely.
So in any case, that's the new iPhone 17 Pro Max and Pro design. So let's kind of break it down really quick. Aluminum frame. Titanium is exactly going away, Quasi. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I kind of wish it was back. So
You know, I think either way, I think aluminum is lighter than titanium, if I'm not mistaken. Because before
I
it
think
was
so,
stainless
but it's
steel.
not as durable for sure.
Definitely not.
I mean, pop cans are aluminum.
I
Look how
don't
easy
know how to
these
spell
they are to
aluminum.
crush.
ALUM.
It's a weird way to spell it. Imagine trying to say that if you don't know how to use English or say English stuff. That's not
Yeah, aluminum
easy.
is half the density of titanium. So that phone's going to be a lot lighter. Which, let me tell you, Adam, for Pro Max users who consistently drop their phone on their face,
Oh, I've never. done
I'm like genuinely developing a dent. Like, I'm not joking.
You can make a bird bath,
It is the
right?
most painful thing. Like it hurts, but I think that'll be. Maybe I will have to upgrade. But if I upgrade, I'm getting a smaller phone. Like, I'm not joking.
I don't know why you would do that.
Like, I gave it a try. The only thing that's nice about it is the battery life. But then again, I was getting like I'll be honest with you. I use my phone for like 4 hours a day. Like, that's it. So my
Okay.
battery lasts.
Well, that's good. I mean, on the beta, it's not right. The beta's kind of mine's draining.
For my iPad, dude, it just sucks the battery right out. Like,
It still
Kinda
does,
crazy.
but it's not as bad. Like I'm probably at 70% by like 10.
10 a.m.
Yeah, mind you, I'm getting up at 4 a.m. So it's big window of time. But in any
Definitely.
case, anti-reflective display. Nice that they're doing that. The issue I have with that is that going to detract from the OLED quality. It usually does do that.
It
So-
typically does do that, yeah.
I'm wondering if that's going to be a deal breaker or not for certain people. A redesigned dynamic island, which I think is just smaller than it usually is. It's not going to be the hole punch or under screen yet. That's not coming until at least the next 2 iPhones away. But we'll see if that's going to be better. The one thing I'll say is the actual dynamic island itself, I'm not a big opponent of like getting rid of it, but reduction of it's nice because there are still apps that do not optimize their resolution to fit that. So you have like things under it, you can't click on certain things, and I wish they'd just make it better with that. I mean, it's been out for like a long time now, so that's my only complaint about it, is apps aren't optimized for that screen resolution and where that's actually at, so it's just in the way. Right. And, you know, like a video. Why is video going underneath that area? Don't do that. Okay, rectangular camera bump. As you can see in the picture that Quasey showed, there's going to be a whole new bump for a camera. I actually like this because now it's not going to be, you sit down at a desk, not going to be so wobbly as much as it was before. So that's going to be nice.
I don't know if mine is wobbly. I wouldn't say that.
It's a little bit wobbly.
I think my case is what's doing it, though.
Okay, this next thing, they always say every year that it's going to be a better battery. It's barely at most. Right. But it's supposed to be a 5,000 milliamp battery, which typically they usually do like, 3,000 to 4,000 milliamp battery. So this might actually be the first time that it's a better battery, which I'm excited for. How about you?
I mean, sorry, that's the 3 a.m. talking. What was I about to say? Bigger battery. Yes. So everybody knows I've been following the new battery technology for a little bit here. And I really like how now they're making thinner batteries that can have higher capacities. I forget what the technology is called right now. It's slipping my mind. Bigger battery, almost always better, except for when you're trying to get on an airplane and you have a laptop. But did you know that Apple actually puts all their MacBook Pros to the legal limit in terms of milliamp hour, or not milliamp hours, but amp hours in their laptops?
Like for a plane ride?
Yeah, for a plane ride. Tia's saying one wants you to go past if your battery is a certain number, and the iPhone
which is good.
5 milliamp hours below that. So
yeah, that's actually it's genius. Yeah. I'll bring up the next topic or the next little point, and then I'll have you do some of them too. So the next one's going to be a all new orange/copper finish, which is what we see in that screenshot.
That, but was that the one in the screenshot?
That's
I
basically
thought that was the natural titanium. Well, I guess it wouldn't be natural titanium anymore if they're getting rid of titanium.
That's the copper one, I believe. I could be wrong, but to me it looks copper. Because you got to keep in mind, when you say blue, the Apple blue is not blue. It's washed out or whatever. But speaking of blue, though, this is also going to have a dark blue finish. Now, Quasey, if it's anything like the blue that we saw on the iPhone 12, I'm in.
That was a nice blue.
I did not get that. What was it called? Midnight blue, whatever they called it. What was that? Can you share a screen of that iPhone, because people are going to forget what that was. Yes.
We're talking about the 12 Pro or the regular 12?
Pro.
Because they were both nice.
12 Pro.
I actually just found a photo of both from CNET.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The 12 Pro Pacific Blue. That's the phrase. We gotta share the screen. It's the one on the left. The one on the right is not it. That's
you don't like that
fake
blue?
one. No. I'm not saying it's not a good blue. I'm saying that's not what they actually had. So if you look at this picture, can you up a little bit, if you don't mind? Just make it a little larger. You could go to the Apple one.
Tab. Bear with me. There we go.
That's better. It's not the one on the right. I think that's the base iPhone, I believe. But this blue, overall, is it the best blue ever made? No. But for Apple colors, I have not seen one better for a Pro model. Ever. They just haven't done it. So if they bring this back, I'm in. But they probably won't. But they do, I'm in. What about you, Quasey? Is this a good blue to you?
Definitely my favorite blue out of like out of any Pro phone, and then the blue for the base model was also my favorite blue for the base models. Let me tell you. Um, Actually, I wouldn't say it's my favorite color for pretty much any iPhone. You know what I mean? Especially this base
I
model
love
blue. Oh my goodness, this base model blue is this is such a deep, rich blue.
The only issue I have with that blue is the carrier bump doesn't really match it.
Yeah, that was a big thing for everybody. Like the frosted camera back on this, making the color different, and the non-frosted one on this, making it different.
Yeah.
It's a thing that my brother and my dad pointed out because my brother had bought the 12 and my dad bought the 12 Pro because my dad has an outrageous amount of money to the name. But you know what? Good for him.
So the next couple of ones I'll have Quasi talk about, and I'll pick up at the telephoto camera. How about that?
So obviously, to nobody's surprise, like literally nobody's surprise, it's gonna have a new chipset, which is gonna be the A19 Pro, and then 12
I'm
gigabytes
excited.
of RAM, which
3
is
nanometer. 3 nanometer Quasi.
is it
Better
really 3
performance.
nanometers?
Yes.
Wait, are we already on 3 nanometers?
It's a newer third generation from TSMC. So it's not the second one that we have now.
12 gigabytes of RAM, which is gonna be 4 more than what I have now.
That's awesome.
25
That's
watt
great.
wireless charging, which I think is exactly what we have right now. But you have to use
Yes.
the MagSafe charger.
Qi 2.
This one is going to be on any Qi 2 charger. And then, it's getting the new Apple
Well,
design. Go ahead.
Qi 2.2. So it's an upgrade Qi. I'm not sure what that really means.
It's going to have Apple designed Wi-Fi chip, which we talked about. Or no, we talked about the cellular chip, which was C1, but it's going to have
i7.
Wi-Fi chip. And then the 24 megapixel front camera. That is awesome. Let me just talk about that for a second. Right now, your phone has a 12 megapixel front facing camera, right? And an iPhone's front facing camera isn't horrible, but you're definitely not using it to take like group photos. You know what I mean? You're turning your camera, and you're holding it like this, and then you're taking the photo, right? This is going to make it to where you want to use your front facing camera.
A selfie or whatever is going to be better.
Yeah,
sure.
Definitely. And then it's going to have that 48 megapixel rear telephoto camera, which I think is the only one that is still 12 megapixels on the iPhone 16. The telephoto camera is still 12 megapixels. So you're going to have three 48 megapixel cameras, which is really nice.
That's 12 megapixels more than the last generation. So what you have now, Quasi, which is way more what I have too.
It's true.
Oh my gosh. And according to John Prosser, dual video recording, which means you can record the back camera and the front camera at the same time. There's an app that does this, Quasi. What's that app called?
Snapchat? I know Snapchat does it.
No, there's
Be Real.
Be Real.
Be Real takes the photo.
Yeah, it's that concept basically, but for video. That's kind of a cool idea, cool concept. So you can just say, "Oh, I'm recording my daughter's recital, and here's my reaction to it." If you want to do that, so I like that a lot. 8K video recording. Basically, we have reached a recording realm that doesn't even have TVs yet.
On a phone.
Huh? Oh yeah, on a phone.
I just want you to know it's on a phone.
Crazy. And you've seen this, right? You've seen where directors and producers and stuff are using iPhones for mass movie productions, commercials, and everything else.
Yeah.
Right? And they're using for sometimes their primary camera, not always, but if nothing else, a multicam shot camera, which is equally as important in a movie or anything else, right? Because that's used a lot. And an iPhone, if you can believe it, is way cheaper than like a Red camera or something like that from Sony that's usually like 30 or 40 grand to have all that rig set up like they need it to be. So for 8K recording, now it doesn't really say here what the frames per second is. If it's like 8K 120, I don't think you're ready for that, Quasi. I don't think anybody is, but I want it. My TV's not going to be able to play 8K. I still want it. So, in any case, I'm excited to see that. That's craziness. This next
Oh, I'm so
one,
excited.
vapor chamber cooling. Now, Quasi mentioned this before in the last couple episodes, but this is going to be kind of like liquid cooling, but not really, if that makes sense. But my phone gets hot, especially during the beta. It really does. And I'll tell you this much too. If you're using your phone for maps while you're on a road trip and you're charging it, expect it to get really hot
And
for
then
no
on
reason.
top of that, no, because I was driving out here. I put my phone in a little thing. It was wireless charging. It's a nice little phone holder that closes by itself. That's not the point. The point is, the sun was beaming into the car,
Yeah.
while
That's
also
probably it.
while also it was charging wirelessly, which everybody knows is like the least efficient way to charge because of how much heat energy is lost. And then on top of that as well, my phone was running, so it was just a hot mess is what it was.
Because I'm guessing you had like your maps opened up plus the music, right?
No,
Or a
just on
podcast or
apps.
something?
When I'm driving with Pops, we don't put on music. We have to be locked in. I don't want to like make a mistake and he's like, it's because of the music. No.
I
No
see.
Pops.
If you're by yourself though on a trip,
Yeah.
you're probably doing both, right? So like
Yeah.
maps on phones, like this is from Google, from Waze or whatever you use, or Apple Maps, and plus listening to music is like it drains your battery so much. Like I said, mine didn't go past 84% when I was just driving because it's just all that happening. It was nuts. If you add a phone call to that, your phone's just
Your
going
phone
to
might
be
blow up.
dead. Yeah,
Yeah,
it might
it
have
might blow
like yours almost dead, right? Your last one. So
Yeah, no,
the
that's
last
very
one's
concerning.
interesting. They're gonna lower the Apple logo. That's new. That's never been done like in the past like 17,000
only because
years.
of the new glass backing.
Yeah, which is okay. I'm not against this.
I'm not gonna hate on it. It's not bad.
It's just an interesting take on it. So I'm curious to see how that's going to look and what they're going to do with things. I wish they would give us some Apple stickers in this iPhone too, Quasi. They stopped doing that. And they need to stop that. Put them back
This
in
is
there.
the
I like
first
the Apple stickers.
iPhone I've ever purchased without an Apple sticker. Like my 15 came with a sticker. My MacBook came with a sticker. Like every other Apple product I've ever purchased, it's come with a sticker. Anyway, moving on. We do have another topic here, but ladies and gentlemen, actually, I think we have to switch to App of the Week really quick so I can show my App of the Week and then explain why we can't do the next topic, ladies and gentlemen.
We can't.
No, Adam, it's really bad actually. Let me explain.
So this is a surprise to me, so let's go with it.
Adam, if you had checked your phone, I sent you a discreet message. But here's the thing, guys. My App of the Week this week is gonna be the United app. I had to travel this week and it was a great aid in my traveling. However, right, I didn't use the United app on the plane like how I usually do. I actually just stood there. I took my AirPods out. I turned the screen off, and I tried to raw dog the flight. It's a trend that I've been seeing on TikTok.
I've seen that too. What a treacherous trend that is.
Let me tell you something.
It's like
Adam.
not eating.
It was just me and my thoughts, and it was getting real scary there. Like things I was thinking up, man. I could have plotted world domination there. It was kind of scary. Anyhow,
plotting and doing is two different things.
So I'm currently getting live updates from this app, and it looks like we have boarding in an hour, which means I have to get to the airport and through TSA.
Oh. So yeah, my
Within, like,
apologies.
an
You did
hour,
mention
46. No, Adam, it's not you, because the airport is only like 15, 20 minutes away from where I live. Well, I don't live here. My family lives here. Let me clarify.
But even that, traffic's going to be crap, even at
I
this
know.
time.
And
then just getting to the actual terminal, TSA. TSA is not as bad as it used to be, by the way.
let
It's
me
a
tell you
lot
something,
better.
Adam. People have been hating on TSA recently. I want to be the one to change that. I've been going through TSA at lightning speeds recently. I'm talking lightning speeds.
It's so much faster.
When I went through Philadelphia, mind you, Philadelphia is one of the worst airports when it comes to TSA that I've ever seen in my entire life. 5 minutes max. I think it was 5 minutes flat. I went through security at O'Hare, maybe 7 minutes, right? There was a lot of people.
Takes you longer to go through
I
the
went
little like
at the
rope
prime of the
system,
day.
right?
Yeah.
You go back and forth, back and
That's
forth,
the
back
thing.
and forth.
That's the thing that takes all the time.
It does.
That's the thing. It's not even. It's not even the part where
Okay, I'll ask you
they're
this.
scanning things.
Did you have to take your shoes off at that airport in
The
Philadelphia?
reason I didn't have to take it off at O'Hare. I didn't have to take it at Philadelphia. I've been having to take it off at Midway.
It's not required anymore. Did you hear that? They got rid of that rule.
I did not know that. And a lot of the time, they won't even have me take my laptop out anymore.
Same here, and I carry a lot of stuff, if you can imagine.
TSA is... I want people to stop hating on TSA. TSA is doing their thing.
Okay.
Hey,
my app of the week, I changed it because we had a pre-discussion, and not that what we had is not good. It's just I want to change it because I've been loving on this. If you've never heard of Nextcloud, it is a open source application, kind of like your own cloud storage, like a OneDrive or Google Drive or so on, right? And essentially, you can host that on your own NAS device, your own computer, or wherever you want to put this thing. And essentially, it allows you to have your own interface that you control everything with, how it looks, the logo, the colors, everything. And you have your own cloud storage network, basically. And we actually use this for the podcast ourselves for all of our backups and stuff like that, which I love that. We keep it in other spots too, but that's our most of the things are there.
Yeah.
And how easy that was to set up. I think the only thing we have an issue with is Quasi can't go to the new domain for it easily.
Yeah,
but other than
it
that,
won't let me log in over there. But
yeah, we're gonna fix that, by the way. But in any case, besides that, I mean, isn't your experience pretty good with that overall, Quasi?
I would say. I just refuse to get the app because
it's
of how
lightweight.
hard Adam's lobbying for it.
I love it. So, for those who do not know about that, you can go with Hetzner, for instance, and get like a terabyte of storage for like $5 a month, which is like insanely cheap, and it's redundant backups, all this other stuff. So if something happens to their drives, that you have your stuff backed up like you would with OneDrive or anybody else. And I really like it. You control it yourself. They don't see your data; it's all encrypted data. Oh, love it.
Just for comparison, if I was to buy a terabyte worth of storage for Apple, it would cost me. Turns out you can't even buy a terabyte anymore. You have to buy 2 terabytes, but it costs $9.99 a month, which is about the same price now that I think about it.
It really is. I mean, iCloud's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad, but I can't control it as much as I can control this. If that makes sense.
Right.
Like, I can give people accounts and all this other stuff, and it's really nice. So check that out. It's Nextcloud, and it's really, really great. Do you have a little bit of time for? Okay, I want to bring this up like live in the podcast. So,
okay, hit me.
As you guys know, Genius Bar is no longer. There's a podcast with Sam Cole and John Prosser, and they had what they call Idiot Bar at the very end, where they just go off topic. They talk about random things, and they get to like just craziness. And we started to do that a little bit here, and I kind of want to do that. I'm not sure if you agree, Quasi, but what do we want to call that segment? It's going to be right after App of the Week. I know it's on the spot. I get that.
Would it be corny to call it One More Thing? Would that be crazy?
It's not a bad name, but then that's the name of the whole show too, basically.
Yeah, but like at the end. But wait, one more thing. Maybe we could call it. But wait, comma, one more thing.
Okay, well, we can do that. We'll let you know what we say basically, but it's where we just kind of go like off topic and talk about life stuff.
Suggestions.
Yeah, I mean, they just go a little bit off with things, and you know that's just how it is. Do you have any crazy stories that happened to you this week, Quasi, with move-in and all this other stuff, and just California life?
I think
there's no way you don't.
For the most part.
You don't have
aside
anything.
From the painter, but the painter story is going to take me 30 minutes, so you guys are going to have to wait till next episode. What else did I do? I don't know. I feel like I didn't do too much. I was here for 3-4 days. Kind of just hung out with my mom. My brother's birthday was yesterday, so shout out to my brother.
Ooh. Well, how old is he?
22.
22?
Yeah, he's getting old.
Cool. I have one thing that I didn't tell you this yet because I want to get your reaction live on the podcast. This is a true story that happened to me on Sunday, right after church, by the way. So, we went to a Chinese buffet in my local town, which is in a like strip mall kind of setting. There's runnings, there's Burcott's and some other places, right, in a big parking lot. So we pull in, and there's this guy with a very large truck, not like a semi. I'm talking about just like a dual like truck with a camper that was longer than 4 like canoes. It was huge. Okay, so what's he do, Quasey? He goes into the very first row, and directly after the handicap spots where everybody could park, he parks there. Now, if you know who I am, I cannot stand bad traffic or drivers or dumb people like this. So in my head, I'm like, hey, I should just park right in front of him. He just pulled in, I should park right in front of him and just get the point across, right? Then my wife says out loud, hey, you know what? You should park in front of this guy. As a joke. And I'm like, I'm all in now. I'm going to do this. So I did it. I went right in front of him, as close as I could get. I parked right in front of him. And of course, if you can imagine, he was upset.
Oh,
so I'm
really?
like, I'm in. I'm doing
Who
this.
thought?
You know, this is going to happen. So here's what proceed after that. I get out, get my daughter out of the car. Like I'm committed to this spot now. He's realizing that now. That it wasn't just like, hey, get out of the way kind of thing. So he's like, hey, you could have parked in any spot besides here. Why'd you have to park right here? I said, I don't know. I just thought I'd pick a spot that was inconvenient for people like you to steal yourself. So he wasn't happy with that statement. So he started to use some very bad language, and not to the point where I felt threatened. It wasn't that at all. But what he did do is he's like, well, these spots were empty when I got here. I said, so is this one? My wife started laughing. Because that's like irrelevant completely, but I said anyway, just to get him going. And then he gets really mad. He's like, you know what, you're just a beep, 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 and all this other stuff. And I said, no, I really think you are for parking where you shouldn't be parking. You could park anywhere in the back. Because society kind of tells you, in a logic sense, that if you have a large vehicle, you don't park it as close as you can to the handicap spots. That's what we call dumb parking. There's enough of that anyway. But that's just not common courtesy. You just don't do that. Because there are people who are not handicapped that really could use those spots. That walk slower or have problems walking around or maybe have like a fleet of kids that they have to worry about. Whatever it is, right? So do not do that. So I had to stand up to him. Well, anyway, he got mad enough where he just like left. And coincidentally, he was able to just turn and just go out of the spot. Okay? Which I then moved my spot closer to where I wanted to park anyway. I have a child. I had to take things out. I don't want to have to be inconvenienced by parking too far back. I don't mind doing it. It's just the point of it. The best thing happened after that. Here's the best part of this whole story.
Oh, God.
I parked, got out with my daughter. My wife was sitting out of the car too. And some random people in a car that was in one row back were down their windows and they started clapping. They said, we are so glad you did that. Thank you so much. Teaching that guy a lesson. I said, somebody has to do it. And no one does this. So I encourage listeners, and you, Quasey, and whoever is out there that listens to this, to just stand up for the people that do that. Now, obviously, if it's like a biker gang or someone that just got out of prison, maybe don't do that, okay? But, judge the whole experience. If it's getting out of hand, they might have a gun or whatever in their pocket, don't do that. But, I didn't yell at the guy, but I just had a conversation with him. I want him to at least realize that wasn't right. Maybe he'll do it again. He probably will do it again. But the point is this. Someone stood up to this nonsense, and you know what? He may choose in the future not to do that again. And then we solved a world problem of bad parking. Because you probably seen there's 2 people parking at a spot so badly, were you drunk, high, or just blind? Whatever. But it's just an epidemic that we need to stop. So I hope this movement, I hope this grows into a massive, wonderful thing. Okay, that's my story of this week that I had to share. So, not sure if you agree with that, Quasey, or not, but I hope you do, because that was just...
it was
I felt so good afterwards.
If he just pulls a gun on you, then it's not worth it.
I had that feeling that it wasn't going to happen. He had that, timeout dad kind of attitude, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
He wasn't going to do that, much less, do anything besides, because if he was going to fight me, I was all in. I was going to just throw some elbows, whatever I got to do.
No.
Oh, yeah.
You let him punch you and then you sue. Litigation always
if
wins.
he could afford that motorhome thing, he probably can afford
Litigation always
$500,000 too. You got a good point, Quasey. Listen to Quasey, don't listen to Adam here. Do the right thing. Any case, I know you have to get going, Quasey. I don't want to keep you too much longer, but as always, make sure you listen to our podcast on various platforms. We have more on Spotify, I almost said Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, and various other things. I also want to bring up something too. If you listen to this episode or any other ones and you're like, what is going on with these ads coming up? We have introduced ads into our podcast to help make some money from this thing and cover some costs. So if you see that, I did reduce some of the ad counts. I had them like, it was 2 pre-roll, 2 mid-roll, and 2 at the end. So now it should be 1 on each section. So I did reduce the ads so you guys aren't going to be getting bombarded. But that's to help cover the cost of things because this is not free to run, if you can imagine. It costs quite a bit of money. And we want to get some money back for sure with this. And we're trying to get some more sponsorships and all this other stuff too. So if you hear ads, that is normal to hear. We're not hacked or whatever. It's just that's what's happening now. If you have any feedback with that, just let us know for sure. But that helps cover some cost for sure. Anything from you, Quasey, before we dip out?
Make sure to like and subscribe. Share the podcast. Word of mouth is the fastest way the channels grow. So I'd appreciate it if you guys would share us to your friends. Hey Josh, this is a new podcast I've been listening to. It's pretty decent. Stuff like that.
Yeah, we are still top 3 in the tech news charts with Apple, so that's still amazing to see. And we did break some records with views, so I pray we keep doing that. That's awesome to me. I know Quasey was for him it's really early. Like in the time zone changes, it's different. So he was pushing this episode. I appreciate that, Quasey. I know it's really early for you over there. Like for me, it's almost 7. For you, it's like what 5?
It is about to be 5. Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's crazy. So thanks again, Quasey, for making this. I really appreciate that. And thank you for the audience. I can't thank you guys enough for everything. Just keep us in mind for next week too. This comes out on Friday, and we're trying to do our best and release every Friday too. So, also starting today, you're gonna see some short form content on TikTok and Instagram that you didn't see before.
Starting 2 days ago, they're not gonna know it was today, Adam.
That's true. Okay. You're gonna see us on Friday, but you're gonna notice on our Instagram and TikTok some more content. Let's just put it that way. And we have some more plans in the future, and we can't wait to share that with you, but not quite yet. Okay, thanks, guys. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you next Friday.
See you next week. Bye-bye.